Hi everybody, how are you doing? Nice in my cool connection, please. Like, subscribe, and share. So I was going through this notification. So I saw this video. Why leader have no slide for whom? Why? So let's know more. Okay.
He's just like how he is when we from. We all real close, like, you see what I'm saying? So it's just one nigga ass. He just happened to be rapping. He figured out what he do, what he want to do. And everybody else, as a whole, I'm saying, as well, we don't know what we want to do. We finna try to be the biggest drug dealers, or we finna rob whoever got some money, or we finna finesse whoever got finesse. We thinking streetwise. But he just one nigga ass. He rapping, it working.
Durk often referred to Von as his baby bro because he often looked out for him and treated him just like a real brother. He helped him focus on making music and staying out of the streets, where King Von was known to get into some serious trouble. However, King Von may have been a bit too much to handle. From attempting a hit at his high school prom to literally tweeting out about people he has put underneath the ground, a series of events led him to being labeled as rap's first serial killer. During his teenage years, Von was deeply involved with O-Block and their conflict with a nearby area known as 60.
It was called a serial killer. That guy was really dangerous.
Third or Tukada, which he often referred to in his music.
So I rise, hit one in his arm, hit one in his thigh. There's no lie, do it that. You say you gon' slide, you got some nerve. On a curb, but we put in work from 64 and from 65th. We not from 63rd. We hang on 64th, 65th, and King Drive. And on 63rd, over here kind of to the left, they dirty and stuff. They be up there just doing stealing, doing all type of petty stuff. So we don't go up there with them, they be dirty.
This led him to frequently being in and out of jail for most of his adolescence, and having numerous encounters with the law, evidenced by all these mugshot photos that were taken over the years.
So this is all of King Von's mugshots ever, and we just gotta talk about this, the most devious man to ever walk.
Serial killer, rap serial killer. This guy was...
literally committed every crime known to man.
However, Von decided to turn his life around after he beat a murder charge in December of 2017. Upon being released, he had a notebook full of raps that he had written while in jail, and once
He never turned his life around. Let's get that straight.
he got home, he started dropping song after song. Not long after his release from prison, Durk recognized Von's potential to make it with music and decided to sign him to his label OTF, which stands for Only the Family and is typically associated with the Black Disciples gang. But where other artists sometimes sign a rapper to their imprint and basically let them fend for themselves, Durk really put Von on from the minute he joined. And immediately, we were introduced to some of his biggest tracks like Beat That Body and Crazy Story. Both of these songs have hundreds of millions of streams across the board.
Gotta drop on this flexing nigga. In Tennessee, I had to stop. She be with this shit, she told me wait.
And from here, everywhere Durk went, Von would be by his side. He even brought him along to his appearance on The Breakfast Club, which led to the first viral moment between the two of them, where Durk would also show how much of a brotherly figure he was to Von, after he stopped Von from saying something that could have possibly got him convicted.
Shit, when you get to that line, have you ever been convicted? Have you ever experienced doing nothing? I ain't,
Signal.
Overall, Durk was deeply committed to Von's success. He would often collaborate on Von's tracks, giving massive exposure to his own fan base, and made guest appearances at Durk's shows. While this certainly had advantages for him and his
He really promoted Von. He really loved that nigga.
OTF label, it really seemed like Durk was just genuinely trying to help his friend achieve success and flourish. However, their collaboration, touring, and even their ability to simply spend time together were soon to be severely impacted after they got caught by the feds in Atlanta. In February of 2019, the pair were accused of being involved in a shooting outside a bar in Atlanta, the city where King Von would faithfully move to in an attempt to avoid the streets, although the exact opposite would happen. As in May of that year, the two turned themselves into the cops after a warrant was issued.
Von can never leave the street. He was taken out of the street by force. They loved that nigga.
Once they were at the precinct, they were hit with a ton of charges, from attempted aggravated assault and possession of firearms. Turning to music, Durkio pled his innocence on the song Turned Myself In, where he referenced how the state was making up lies.
Look up at the judge, hey look, they making up lies for sure. I'm an innocent man for sure. It is what it is for sure.
But once they were released on a bond of $300,000 each, one of the conditions of their release was that they weren't allowed to associate with one another, while Vaughn was placed on house arrest. Considering how tight they were, this was a hard pill to swallow, but Vaughn remained grateful for everything Dirk had done for him so far.
Yeah, so me and Dirk, we only see each other like at court, if we got court or some shit.
So even when you're on tour, you can't really be around each other too much?
Nah, we can't. Hell no.
Is that strange, like, just to have the court basically just saying you can't be cool when you're
Yeah,
best
because
friends?
you know it's like started up and everything. Like, people get to noticing me shit out there. He bringing me to his interviews and pulling up a chair right here and letting me sit right there.
Right.
If he came, no jump, he'd have a chair right here with me. You'd be like, what the f going on?
Right.
Oh, this is my artist. I don't even have shows because of Dirk.
Even with obstacles placed in their way, Dirk and Vaughn continued to deliver musically. Dirk scored his biggest album yet on Just Cause Y'all Waited 2, with tracks like Viral Moment, Turn Myself In, and Three-Headed Goat. Meanwhile, Vaughn dropped his debut album, Welcome to O Block, which was a massive success, peaking at number 5 on the Billboard charts. With that, it was clear that Vaughn was next up, and it was Dirk who had successfully lit the way for Vaughn to become a superstar. But just a week after the project dropped, those dreams would become nothing short of a distant memory, as King Von would endure a hail of bullets, and Dirk would be left with nothing but pain and a whole ton of pressure on him to seek vengeance. Just as Vaughn should have been having the time of his life and putting the streets behind him, a fight with a rival MC, Quando Rondo, and his entourage broke out while the two were at a hookah lounge in Atlanta, which led to shots being fired and Vaughn later dying from the wounds he sustained in the hospital. Over time, it would be revealed that the killer was allegedly Timothy Leaks, aka Lil Tim. To this day, he is not just alive and well, but also walking around freely for reasons we're gonna discuss in the next few chapters. Dirk found out about King Von's death during an Instagram live while jamming out to music, before he finally saw what his comments were saying, and you can immediately see his mood change when he did. Left in shock, he took the IG to unveil a heartbreaking post. Yet, even as the grief was just beginning to set in, one of hip-hop's most infamous trolls would set the ball rolling on a campaign that would haunt Dirk for the next couple of years. To preface this, it's important to note that Dirk's music often targets his deceased rivals within his lyrics. For instance, in the song Back in Blood by Pooh Shiesty, Dirk makes an appearance, and in his verse, he subliminally disses a man by the name of Mubu Crump.
It was dissing on my cousin, now his ass holding that one.
By claiming that he had someone deceased because they dissed his cousin, many believe these bars are referring to Mubu Crump because not only is he a fellow...
No. Don't stick it on him. Don't stick it on him. Please. Allegedly.
rapper from his hometown of Chicago, Illinois, but he was also dissing Dirk's cousin and fellow label mate OTF Noonan. Noonan was tragically shot and passed away in May of 2014, and it seemed like karma would eventually strike Mubu, as his actions would backfire at him later, and he too would pass away in May of 2018 from a shootout. Strangely enough, Dirk is somewhat admired for this, as people respect him for apparently living the life he describes in his songs. Despite his recent claim that he is not a gang member, it's fairly well known that he's been linked with the Black Disciples since he dropped out of high school. On his Wikipedia page, they have a whole section dedicated to Dirk's controversies, as he has gone on to mock the demise of individuals like FBG Thug, whom he taunted in songs like Should've Ducked. In some cases, the beefs he became involved in have led to some of his own affiliates dying. Allegedly. Now, enter Tekashi 6ix9ine, a man who is known as hip-hop's biggest troll, who started beefing with Dirk immediately upon him posting about his dead friend.
Biggest rat. Do not forget to add that.
On Instagram, saying, Newski, now Vaughn, and you still rapping. Go pick up a gun. Claiming that he needs to go pick up a gun to get revenge for Vaughn and Newski, another affiliate of Dirk's that got killed in 2014, caused a never-ending social media storm that Lil Durk still endures till this day. That's because when Vaughn first died, he received a ton of praise from the hip-hop community, but Tekashi stuck out like a sore thumb when he decided to instead clown him for dying. It seemed really insensitive and gave cringe, edgy humor vibes, but the media would post it like crazy, hence giving him more attention. However, many believe that Tekashi kinda had a point, as Tekashi would then go on a tirade of posts, interviews, and podcasts slandering King Von's name at any given chance.
Was King Von a stand-up tour?
King Von was to get busy.
Alright, so why was he lacking? Why was he lacking?
You know what?
Why was he lacking?
It doesn't matter.
He was standing on business. But it have not supposed to lead to this level. May she rest in peace.
Wanted to make it clear that he thought Vaughn didn't live up to the expectations set within his music, where he would basically talk about how many bodies he has and how much of a demon he was. And since Tekashi himself was essentially blackballed by the entire music industry after he was exposed for being a fake gang member, he went all out after he found out that Durk wasn't getting the same treatment as he did. Till this day, he still pops out trying to make people realize that rappers don't really mean the words they say in their songs and that he was wrongfully blackballed. Plus, he already had plenty of smoke with Durk after he used his biggest
Not all rappers. Facts.
feature ever on Drake's Laugh Now Cry Later to take shots at Tekashi snitching in court.
I'm in the trenches, relax. Can you not play that little play in the club? Cause we do not listen to rap.
His behavior is nothing new for 6ix9ine, who also beefed with Chief Keef back in the day, even showing up to O Block in the middle of the night to try and feed into his whole test my gangsta narrative.
Block right here, that's what y'all want to be in Chicago. No block right here. I should call this shit no block. It's 10 o'clock. Where the fuck is that? This ain't outside. It's only 10 p.m. Fuck that, blood.
So to see 6ix9ine throw some shade Von's way, even in death, wouldn't be surprising. And since then, he has done it numerous times for other rappers, including Young Dolph, Nipsey Hussle, and PNB Rock. But with Von, Tekashi took it a whole step further, and used his giant online platform to point out what Von's wishes were after his passing, and claim that Durk wasn't living up to his end of the bargain.
King Von said, when I die, man, we're gonna slide every day. Cat. That shit is...
Have you been hearing what has been happening to Dirago? Are you not online? You not seeing the heat? Do you actually know they actually killed the career of Luton and Conrado? They killed their career. That incident was like a curse. In case you don't know.
Who slept with King Von yet? The rest is fucking pissed. Fucking dumb.
Here, 6ix9ine was referring to these bars from Von's I Am What I Am song.
And if I sit down, I'm posting the murder. Wait, my nigga goes slide every day.
Tekashi pointed out that Durk wasn't actively seeking revenge for his fallen comrade, and went on to call him out on his song Gene for not doing anything about Von's death.
Your man got shot, he not coming back. Go get it and get some get back. You a...
The simple inclusion of this Slide for Von frame on this video, which accumulated nearly 35 million views, lit the flame from fans on the internet who absolutely ran with this. At this point, Slide for Von basically became a norm to see under any of Lil Durk's posts on social media, with people till this day still asking if Durk has slid for Von. I love O Block and Durk, but Lil Tim being alive makes them look so dumb. All of Von's songs on the album are about sliding for dead homies and being real, yet Lil Tim is still...
I am not supporting any violence. Don't like the violence, you know. But that's what comes with it. If you live a bad life, bad things happen. Get back is get back. When they have the opportunity to target you specifically, they will hurt people around you. That is the streets for you. The street is different from the civilian. So do not comment and talk trash about one or later. Because all we want is peace. Because like you are promoting the violence like this, please.
Crazily, this isn't just a meme, but something that actively prevented listeners, most of whom have only seen a hood through a telescope or on a YouTube video, from enjoying Durk's music anymore.
You don't f with Lil Durk then. Lil Durk, he ain't slide for Von. Bro's dead. That was his homie. He ain't slide. What is he doing?
Basically, the people you often saw telling Durk to slide for Von are thought to be spoiled white kids who just enjoy gaslighting the drama and not understanding the severity of the situation. Because of how intertwined the streets and music are in Chicago, and the information that fans have because of things like Academics' War on Chirac series and Reddit pages, these people felt like they knew what Durk had to do if he was a true friend. And for Durk, this must have been surreal. This is a man who held Von down to the point that he gave him a record deal and let him stay independent and make more money than he ever could imagine. By signing to OTF and not letting him get tied up in a 360 deal or any other major label contractual entanglements, Durkio basically helped Von set his family.
is true brotherly love.
Up for life and still be able to provide for them even after he has sadly passed away. Still, even after everything he had done for him, these comments were everywhere. Every time Dirk posted anything, you knew that there would be a subsection of fans who would be spamming their demands for him to slide below. And over time, it clearly got to him. For example, at a show in Netherlands, Dirk called a fan up who was telling him to slide for Vaughn, just to tell him off before pushing him away. At the same time, he was inheriting Vaughn's beef and gaining new ones on his behalf. Since his death, Dirk has had smoke for Quando Rondo, Lil Tim, and even Quando's own label boss, NBA Youngboy. And in the case of Youngboy, it's gotten pretty ugly with their back and forth. Thankfully, Youngboy is on house arrest, so not much has escalated on that front. But eventually, Dirk had enough, and had to address the whole situation on some tracks. On hearing sirens from his 7-2...
I just want people to understand, the NBA should be released from house arrest. Don't you know these guys have a lot of money to move with security? Do you think they are dumb? On that particular day, Vaughn was killed. Do you know how many games was the team that moment? They lost 2 of their guys that particular day. If other streets niggas they are millionaire street bangers. Don't joke with them. Joke with your life.
2-0 album, Dirk vented some frustrations, saying, "Y'all tell me slide then turn around, then have the nerve to clown us. Like them blogs, not your dog, you dudes turn to cowards." On these bars, Dirk took aim at the hypocrisy of rap fans who love to feed into the drama, only to turn around and claim that they're stupid and that they've thrown their lives and careers away when it all goes down. And as the internet continued to pressurize him, OGs, peers, and even people who'd normally be on his back were actually applauding Dirk for not jeopardizing his whole life when he was the man who was in the position to keep Vaughn's legacy alive.
Because what could Dirk do right now today about, like, King Bonds? Nothing. Except slide for him positively. Should Little Dirk grab his Draco and just go, I don't know, shoot some niggas up that he felt like or had anything to do with, with Vaughn's death? Should he go do that today?
That's what some decent percentage of fans on the internet actually think. That he should torch his own career and life. He already had the case. I mean,
Adams keeping Matarovich is what they call a culture talk show. Just always find a way to make people have beef. He just loved the power of views.
right, he's insanely famous. The idea that he should do that, and the fact that the fans feel like they have the right to feel that way about him.
Yeah, they don't. Nothing you could do to bring Vaughn back, but he should go slide with his. Why should he do that when he can use his platform to keep Vaughn's name alive, right? Service Vaughn's memory, and also keep going upward as an artist.
Game, you are on the right game. Thank you.
And as a father, and as a boyfriend or husband to whoever, whatever title he has, he is to his girlfriend. It's like
another man who advocated for Dirk to keep the bloodshed down to a minimum was Charleston White, who we covered in a video that dropped about a month ago. And while he did initially start to go viral for constantly dissing King Von and other fallen rappers as well, he thought that it was up to Dirk to safeguard his career.
Him and Vaughn was partners. He lose Vaughn, then he lose his brother. Do I get to mourn? Can I process my grief? Or do y'all want me to throw my life away? Y'all want me to crash out and come back down there with y'all so y'all can talk about me even more? I can't win with y'all. I can't win. This is a lose-lose situation that the fans...